Hey there, Joe Muir here, Quantum Change Agent. What a week it's been. Absolutely roller coaster. So much is unfolding at such an exponential speed at the moment. It really is exciting times. And of course, as I bring through new wisdom and mentorship, it obviously means that I can pass it on to you guys at some level in the group and obviously in depth when you work with me. So what do I want to focus on this week? Well, we've just had our new moon. Oh, coming on. Hey, Danielle, thanks so much for joining. Just starting. So we've just had our new moon in Aries, which in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the new moon of spring. So, you know, this time of new beginnings. If you're familiar with my work, especially over the last 18 months or so, I've been very much about setting intentions, working with the cosmic flow. And whilst that is all still relevant, we're moving to the next level of understanding. I still find it so potent to understand the energy of what's around us and what's supporting us. And to go with it, it's like, let's create our own river of flow and let's be aware of where the rocks are in the stream, if you like, or the torrent. Sometimes happens in, you know, full flow there. So Aries is late this year. Yay, hey, Danielle. Aries is late. New moon is late this year because it comes into Aries, which means that's why Easter is so late. So, you know, when I look at that and go, well, what does that imply for us? It's like, you know, this year, universal year of 3, the year of self-expression, really finding your unique tone, your unique expression, your soul voice, bring that forward in this year. And we've had 3 months so far, and God knows how quickly they've gone, but 3 months to find our feet. And it's not about necessarily finding our voice, it's being in the capacity and energy space to bring forward your true voice. And that is what is so key. It's just so imperative that you know how to master those thoughts and beliefs and ideas and energy fields that are keeping you small and in your head. And, you know, that's what I want to focus on today. We're going to be looking at the victim versus the warrior. And, you know, right now, also just finishing off on the cosmos, we've got Saturn and Pluto coming in with the new moon energy that's actually causing a couple of roadblocks right now. And it requires us to do even more inner and outer work. I mean, we're always a work in progress. We just are. That's what life is about, is to continually recreate ourselves into the newest version, the deepest version, the biggest version of who we be. And it's that continual quest and craving for awakening to back into your true conscious levels. That is what it means to be alive. And somebody said something to me last week, it was so profound. Consciousness does not evolve out there in the ethers. It is only in the realities where we bring it through and evolve it here in this world and in parallel worlds that the whole of consciousness can create. And when you get that, how profound it is that we are on the forefront of the catalyst of creation to bring through our uniqueness, which helps evolve consciousness. So that's how important you are in the whole evolution of everything in the universe. So what I'm here today is to invite you to consider, have you had enough of your ego trying to control what is unfolding for you? And by that I mean, you know, where are you letting yourself being disempowered and ruled by fear? That you create your own rules from that space of fear. And you spend so much time in the what if stage. You know, what if this happened? What if that happens? What if I repeat what I did before? What if that person doesn't show up as I expect them to? What if the circumstances don't support me to move forward? You know, why me? You know, that whole mentality of why me? I've done so much work. I've done so much healing. I've done so much clearing. I feel I've evolved so much, and yet things still aren't breaking through. That is all being victim, either victim to others, victim to circumstances, or victim to your ego and your own thoughts. Is this resonating for you, Danielle? Is this sparking some thoughts off in your head, and do you relate to it? By all means, comment. I love to interact when you're on. So whilst we may, in our awakening, be aware of coming out of blame mentality, because we're doing that on a conscious level, what is often hidden behind that is the subconscious victimhood to our own beliefs and thoughts, because you haven't discovered the tools and the way to literally overcome those thoughts and beliefs whenever you choose. And you are that much of a powerful co-creator that you can do that. You did not come into this life with a majority of your beliefs and thoughts pre-programmed. Yes, some do come in. Some do come in from past lives and from cultural conditioning and from ancestry, and I get that. And yet, as the powerful being that you are, when you tap back into the energy that actually created you and you allow that source energy to come through you, that has far more capability to literally blast and dissolve and alchemize any thought that you've created in the past 20, 30, 50, 80 years, or for the last 800 years, 8,000 years in the other past lives, or what's been passed down to you. So just absorb that for the minute, that if you knew how to tap into that power to literally alchemize like a laser beam through, how could that change your life? How could that just blast all your preconceptions out of the way? Yeah, Danielle, great. I agree with you. Ego needs to get out of the way. Hard to change when we have been programmed from an early age. Yeah, we have been programmed from an early age. And as I say, we've been programmed from past lives and eons. And I work when working at soul level, it's clearing the energies that have been programmed in from all those contracts that you've had as well over those past lives. The thing is, when you start to grasp the concept that by tapping into a new level of energy, which is what I teach people in my one-on-ones, and how to do this, is bring that forward to blast what is being created in your head. Because it wasn't a thought in your head that created you, right? You are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You are your soul, your spirit is part of everything. You just happen to be channeled through this vessel in this lifetime. And yet our conditioning is, oh, this is me, this is Joe, this is my body, I'm this tall and I live here and I help people, whatever the story is that you've created. Get your head around for a moment that your physical body and your uniqueness was created from source energy way, 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 way before this vessel showed up. So how could it be, if you are tapped back in to that innate source of power, just as you created this body, just as you created your thoughts, if you can tap back into that innate power, you can also dissolve those thoughts and beliefs, just as when it's time for you to return to source, it will dissolve your body. How's that for a concept? Could you see the possibility that if you were able to grasp that you do have that ability to tap into that nothingness, into the darkness from whence you came? It's big stuff. I know. So, you know, if we are pre-programmed from an early age, put some more words into it, Danielle. I love interaction. How does that resonate for you to see the possibility of being able to blast through those thoughts? So when I've been talking recently about work being done on the light grid, because that's what we've been taught, this, if you like, glass ceiling paradigm of everything's in the light. And it's a man-made construct, and that's actually only evolved over the last 1,000 years, really, when the truth, you know, when the elements of the original Bible were really, you know, taken out, and then it was just, you know, the bits were taken out. Hey Louise, great to see you. When the real truth has been filtered out to serve humanity, that we need everything in this light grid to be able to be seen because we are material beings. When we start to get past those illusions and go, well, hang on a minute, if we really understand, and it's a basic concept, everything is created from darkness. You know, the seed at conception for you and I was created in the darkness of the womb, right? The cosmos and the universe was created in the darkness of nothingness. So why are we looking to create within the light grid? Because we can only ever create in the light grid what is already in existence and pulling that through. When we go back to the darkness, we can create from nothingness. And I know I'm going a bit off a tangent from there, but it's that same point. If we can tap in and create from the nothingness, then it's that power that can dissolve those thoughts and beliefs that are keeping us in the human conditioning of the light grid. How's that for mind-blowing? So, whilst we want to show up in this world as the unique being that we are, we have to understand duality in that there is light and dark in everything. And what's not being talked about is that, and please don't confuse this with shadow. Shadow is the, you know, the projection of ourselves onto future circumstances or onto others, where the light comes through us and creates a shadow, which is what I've been talking about, the victim mentality, the victimness we're projecting onto others. Oh, well, it's because of what they said. They've made me feel like this. You know, oh my God, something that happened when I was 5 and I've never really got over it. You're still being victim to that. You're still allowing what happened 25 years ago to run your show because you don't know how to blast it. You don't know how to dissolve it and transmute it. Because first of all, from the shadow, you need to transmute it back to the light. And then once you have self-mastery in the light, you go back into the seed of darkness to bring through the true place of creation. So if we are open to the concept of blasting these thoughts of victimhoodness, you know, if I don't behave, if I don't show up in a certain way, if I'm not in service to others, I won't be loved. You know, as you, hey, Dara and Matar can do so beautifully well. Oh my gosh, the only way I'm of value is if when I'm in service to others, I just want to be wanted, need to be needed. All very heroic, all very, you know, gracious, if you like. And yet you're being victim to giving your power away. Because you are relying on others to accept you and love you and appreciate what you offer to them in order to feel fulfilled and valued. And, you know, I used to sugarcoat this stuff and I haven't gone past that now. I'm here for truth bombs. How does that resonate? Because I so know, and you know, Bintakans and Hidarans, beautiful souls, they just come from the heart. They want to give, they want to share, they want to light the world up. And yet they require that light to be reflected by others to feel fulfilled. Any hands up and ownership of that? So, mind is blown. Okay, I am familiar with shadow work, but darkness is new to me, so interesting. It is interesting and complex, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm taking this work to a new level, absolutely. So you know, for 4 or 5 years I've been doing soul work, and I still absolutely feel the imperative value of that, of understanding where we're from and that truth. It's been very much in the light grid. And so once we master our light bodies, self-mastery at light bodies, we then can go back into the darkness. So what if we are ready to consider blasting our thoughts at the victim level, and to stop, you know, projecting, you know, what if that happened, it could happen again, you know, because you're running the energy of, oh, well, last time I tried this, it was such a miserable failure. I lost $8,000. I was so much time and money and I didn't get anywhere with it. Oh my God, if I go in to do a new business and that happens again, oh my God, what's going to happen? Now, I have run that for over a decade. I've had 8, 10 different businesses in 15 years. And it's only in the last 5 that I really stepped into my calling. And even then, I took a year out last year, as you know, to create my silk scarves, whilst I did more work on myself. And that space has created the energy to allow more to come in. My crown's going buzzing at the moment. I know I'm onto it. So if we're prepared to start considering blasting the victim and the victim mentality, and again, this is what's talked about in the light grid, is we just need to have positive thoughts and get rid of the negative thoughts, and we're all, connected into light, and everything will be wonderful. And it's like, well, that's only one side of the coin. What's the other side of the coin? And that's where I invite you to get to know your warrior. Your warrior. Your warrior is your part of your divine masculine energy within you that makes a stand for your values, that is willing to protect your values, your worth, no matter what. To help you take those risks and to support you through everything. When you are prepared to go so deep within to bring forward your true values, which is another conversation, it's another archetype. Today I'm just focusing on warriors and victims. And once you've identified your true values under your sovereign, your warrior is your masculine energy that stands there and go, I can see that shitty old thought coming in again, and I'm not having it in my watch. I am not having it in my watch. I am going to be blasting that thought right back off the field, because it is not coming in my space and interfering with my values that I hold so strongly to bring my mission and vision forward. Can you feel the energy of that? How would that feel to have that warrior energy within you and have it running your show? Could you see how life could change if you had that warrior on guard with you 24/7, so that any of these thoughts that came up just actually cannot retain in your space, because you are not prepared to put any holes in your armor of values? And it's like thinking of a war. All right, so if we think of the victim in the war, in a war, yes, war, I mean, really, again, a whole other subject of what I think or feel about war. However, there's so many people, I am the victim of the war, I'm the victim of the war. And yet, you look at examples, forgive me for not knowing the names, but there's amazing people that did come out of the Holocaust and wrote these amazing stories that just stayed true to themselves throughout that Holocaust and inspires others to do the same in those horrific concentration camps. They were not the victim. They held their own values true to themselves and helped others do the same through that horrendous time. So victims are always subject to external and internal circumstances and thoughts. So your victims might be, they might be the casualties of war, but also it could be more, the victims are the ones that, I've got to go on the battlefield and, in my fear and try and kill the opposition. I mean, it must be horrendous. I'm not belittling what the war means. What I do want to get to is that the warrior are your chiefs, are your commanders, are the ones that are standing there organizing the troops, because they hold the value of the kingdom in their vision so strongly that they will take the risks, that there is no compromise. They do not operate from that fear of what could happen, because they are in this present moment going, I am guarding my values, my kingdom, I'm protecting my queen, no matter what. And I will, put out my troops so I can be the inspirational leader for them to be fearless going onto that battlefield. So how could it be for you if you befriended and created and brought forward your own inner warrior. By all means, put some comments in. How would that shift your life if the warrior stood for just not having any more shit coming into your space, victimhood or not, and you learnt the tools to dissolve those? By all means, put a comment in. I know it's big stuff to take in. Let me check my notes. Not that I wrote a lot of notes. So, what are you willing to fight for? You know, at the end of the day, that's what this is about. What are you willing to fight for? Are you so attached to the egoic box of your mind and all that you've held safe and known up till now? Or are you prepared to put a bomb into that, a truth bomb into that, and explode all those pillars of security and trust and love and family and friends and jobs and careers and partners and, you know, all that you do? Are you willing to explode those myths of the mind around what's important to you to bring forward your soul values and your soul truth? Because what I'm seeing is there's so many women out there that, yes, they're on the path of awakening, but they seem so, it feels that the chasm between where they're living now and their soul-fueled life seems just so out of reach. They have no concept of how to bridge that, or what is it, no matter what work. And I so utterly relate. I so utterly relate. I've been, oh God, 16 years on my journey. And yes, I have crossed that bridge to a certain extent. It's like, you know, I've crossed the bridge to the island in the middle with my work over the last 5 years. And now I'm ready to go into the nothingness and return to the darkness and bring my true, innate, divine, feminine energy forward from the darkness. I feel I'm pretty much there on mastery of my light body. And now it's going to the next level, into the interdimensional stuff. So, explode your mind. And I know that there are women out there that are seeking the same, because you are absolutely tired of keeping this mask on, going, I'm doing all the work, I'm doing all the work, and I just don't understand why. I don't understand all the healing I've done, and I feel better after a session, then I go back and my thoughts kick in and nothing seems to change. And you're a complete victim to your own thoughts, because nobody's shown you how to actually just blast them, get them rid, and get them off the playing field. So that's what I do. And that's what I love helping women do. Which is absolutely, oh God, look at that. The heavens have just opened as I said that. There's brilliant sunshine and pouring rain. God, I love it when the weather gods play my game. The heavens open, that's amazing. Yeah, it's going to that next level of, you know, you're just tired. You're just tired of wearing all these masks and going to see the next healer and trying to figure it out when you're still running the same stuff in the mind. And I'm not disvaluing the power of healing. It is all valuable. And yet there is so much unspoken about where the truth lies, your true power. And that's what I bring forward now. It's exciting. It's hugely exciting. So, look, I'd love your feedback. I've gone quite long on this live stream. I just trusted that I needed to bring through what I needed to bring through. So, yeah, just put a couple of final thoughts in there if you want. Scroll down, maybe I'm missing them. Got to get to it. Oh, there we go. I'd say more energy, but I think I'm afraid of judgment. But I have felt more energy and it's so powerful. Yes, it is. It is powerful. So, being afraid of judgment, and thanks for your honesty. Judgment is your projection. When you are afraid of somebody else judging you for what you do, ultimately it's you judging yourself. Because what goes on around you is only ever a reflection of the inner. Hey, Monique, hello. Yeah, what goes on around you is only ever a reflection of what's going on inside you. So because your values have not been established, oh, who am I to think that I can do this? Who am I to show up and break through this stuff? Oh my God, who would I be if everything around me fell apart? I don't think I would cope. I don't think my mind would cope. I mean, this is absolutely operating from fear completely. And we've all been there. And until you fully learn about each of the fear-based archetypes and how to not translate them, it's not translating, transmute into the power-based ones that are going to continue to run the show. So when you learn to establish that no one and no thing has power over you, ever, and you live from that space of that is your truth, then what anybody ever thinks of you is seriously none of your business. None of your business. There is nothing that you can do that can affect how somebody thinks of you, because whatever they think of you is completely and utterly their story. So when you understand that and you let go that you're completely not responsible for how somebody else reacts to you, it's the ultimate freedom, because you don't give a shit. You do not give a shit about what somebody thinks of you, because there's nothing you can do about it, because all you're trying to do is being a people pleaser. Because it goes back to your Hadarian and Mintarkan. Daniel, what are you? You've got both running, Hadarian and Mintarkan. So it goes back to those cores that I have to be in service to others, and I have to show up as they expect me in the world, because when they do, they tell me that I'm worthy of receiving their love. But when you get to the point that you don't need anybody else or anything else to fuel you from that whole divine source of love, you show up how you choose from your soul expression uniquely. Now, how would that be for you, Danielle? Is that a concept you can just go for? You know, it scares the shit out of you. I get it. I get it. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just telling you the truth. Monique, I know you've only caught the last little part of that, but how are you and the baby and the other 7 children? Oh my gosh, that blows my mind. You have 8 children. That just blows my mind. You know, talk about being such a giving heart. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So everybody's gone quiet. Maybe it's just too much. Maybe we just need to process. But you know, this is the work that I'm bringing forward now, and it's it goes way, way, way beyond just doing soul readings. It's a whole new level of work that I am bringing in, and helping women literally turn their life inside out, upside down, and returning into their own innate power, no matter what. And I guarantee it. I guarantee, and it's not a one-off session. It's over as long as it takes, month, 3 months, whatever it takes, of that support to get you into the place of that magical co-creation back in the darkness. And it is potently powerful. So, you know, as always, it's how much do you desire, how much does your soul absolutely desire to be seen, heard, and understood, and to live from your place of uniqueness, and to completely and utterly let go of all that programming, all of that, what other people think of you, and you find your complete path. So you apply that unique laser beam of creativity, your unique energetic tone that you strike in the world, that rings the bells in the ears of those who are ready to work with you. So just as I put my frequency out there, I help others do that same, so that you identify in what area you're bringing your unique gifts, talents, and abilities forward in a way that only you can uniquely express, and hold that frequency so you magnetically attract the people that you are going to transform their lives for. So that's the new level, and I'm just putting out there, I'm starting doing discovery calls, which anybody is welcome to book in for 20 minutes free with me, just to go through some of these finer points, and for you to see whether working with me, or rather I kind of interview you actually, because I have to know that you're ready for the field of awakening, and ready, really, really committed to do the work, however hard it is. But I guarantee that if you follow exactly what I say, you have the life that you have always dreamed for. And if somebody had told me 15 years ago that it was guaranteed that if you do what I say, and I'm not talking about law of attraction stuff, I am blasting shit out of that. And I can tell you on another live stream why that stuff doesn't work. Yeah. So by all means, book in for a discovery call. I'll put the link in below. And if your heart's going, oh my God, this is, my mind's blown, is this possible, is this possible? All those questions are just from fear-based. But if you are open to that possibility of learning how to absolutely blast each element of your fear archetypes and live from a sense of power, then by all means, book in for a chat. So, thank you. I just happened to log on, have to catch you live. Look forward to learning more. Awesome, Danielle. Well, thank you. I love doing this. It's what I want to do more of, and introduce this work and just bring it forward. I'm just totally. I've always been passionate about transformation, and that, you know, that concept of Kali. Everything has to die before it can be rebirthed. And I do hope that you've had an opportunity to listen to those activations I put in the group, one for Kali and one for Hecate. I'll be doing Lilith this weekend, and my 3 Goddess series. Powerful. If those resonate for you and light you up from the inside, look at the testimonial on the Hecate activation that somebody left me on Insight Timer today. Blew my mind. That's who I'm working with, here for, to help. And if you have that kind of reaction to Kali and Hecate activations, then let's talk. So look, have an awesome week. Awesome week. That's my intention. I'm just having an awesome week, coming up to school holidays and just bringing that fun and joy in. And I have booked myself away. Like, everything's booked out for Anzac weekend here in Australia. Like, there's nothing available. And yet I've landed myself a beautiful, massive place in an old winery castle with big chairs and opulence and all this. And I managed to get it. And I'm going to go away and write my new program. Yeah, Unleashing the Alchemist. It's the first step before I get into my bigger work, which I know what it is, yet to be revealed. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm prepping for that. So lots of love. Namaste for being here today. Love to share. And by all means, if anything comes up from you from watching this live stream subsequently, or for anybody who's watching it later, by all means put comments in there. I will come back to you on that. All right. Have an awesome week, folks. Ciao, ciao.